Loch Lomond Lotto. Play for a chance to win our monthly cash jackpot amongst other prizes. By entering, you're directly supporting Loch Lomond TV, our community-led media platform, and helping to fund local good causes. Each draw gives you the chance to win while giving back to the local community. For more information, visit our website, lochlomondtv.com, or follow us on social media at Loch Lomond TV.
So welcome to this episode of Real People, and today we've got Emma Latham from
Paul.
Bonnie Reminder.
That's right.
And Emma, when I saw it was a list of names you get, right? And it said Emma Latham, Bonnie REM. And I thought, maybe she's something to do with REM, and maybe Bonnie Ray or something like that. You know what I'm thinking? Some kind of big music manager person. But
No,
it's not.
unfortunately not.
Tell us about Bonnie Reminders.
A Bonnie Reminder is my new business venture where we preserve memories, we preserve wedding bouquets, we do memorial jewellery. We basically take, the biggest part of it is weddings and bridal bouquets.
Okay.
So we'll take the bridal bouquet and flower arrangements and we can make loads of different lovely things for them to be able to then keep their bouquet for forever.
So would that be in resin?
We do resin as half of it, and then if you're not a fan of resin, we can press them and frame them as well, which is becoming more and more popular over the resin stuff.
So you have the old wedding bouquet up on the wall?
That's right, yep, you can have it on display and look at it every day.
Lovely,
So it's really, really nice. It's nice to take it back from.
Something I'd never thought. What made you think of that? Or is it something? Is that a thing?
Well, I started a few years ago doing resin as a hobby, and we were just making fun things, jewellery boxes and random stuff like that. We'd make a bunch of Halloween themed things and go to craft fairs and that type of thing. So I was doing it like that for a while. It took a while, and then we discovered about the preserving flowers in resin. So I gave that a go. I was practising doing that for a wee while. I was maybe doing it for a good few months. And then previously in my career I was photographer, owned TCB Photography in Clydebank alongside Pamela Reid. And then I was diagnosed with slip discs in my spine at the end of 2023. So that put an end to the photography.
So you would go to weddings and take pictures at that point?
Yeah, we're wedding photographers.
So you've always been involved in
I've always been involved in the industry, which has served me well going forward into this one. And it was actually a friend of mine who asked me to preserve some lovely flowers from a funeral spray. And of course I was a bit, okay, this is the first time, this is pressure, this is somebody's actual flowers now, it's not practice. But it turned out beautiful. So it's like, I can do this is really nice.
When I was at school, we had a shot of, I think it was we put in dead insects in resin. And it was hard because you get wee bubbles. And like, I'm thinking you got all the contours of a flower and the stem. So how do you not get the bubbles?
It's a process. It's all part of the technique. You spend most of your time babysitting it after you've poured it initially. You've got to babysit it, watch for bubbles, pop them, go back, look again, and air bubbles.
So you've got to go in the needle and pop them or something like that? I don't know.
I use a heat gun to pop them, but on the more delicate things, you use a wee toothpick or something like that to get them out.
It's quite tricky. But beautiful if it comes out right.
It's stunning when they come out. I mean, it's just such a sense of achievement when you demold something and it's not got a bubble in.
Bubble free.
Yes.
So my son actually used to collect insects. at one point he was sending away for insects and resin.
Yeah.
So I've got, no, he's not interested anymore. I've got a whole pile of, if anybody wants any insects and resin.
Flowers are pretty.
Flowers are much
bugs
better.
you can get.
Bugs, maybe not
keep
so
them.
much. No, we keep the we just stick to the flowers, obviously.
But if I was asked to preserve a bug, then I would. Okay. You can pretty much preserve anything in it, which is really cool because the sky is the limit. If you can imagine it, then.
Not suggesting pets, obviously, but.
No. I mean, you could, but no.
Let's move on from that.
Pets, ashes, and I've preserved fur. Clippings of fur, or like little pieces like their collar and their dog tags and things. I've made some lovely little memorial pieces, hearts out of all those little different bits.
Okay, so you do like a heart shape and put different bits in.
Yeah.
Some I'd never have imagined or thought about, really. So is it quite a new thing, or is it something you just made up yourself?
No, I didn't make up myself. I'd seen it done mostly from Australian or American preservation artists. When I looked into it for us, for Scotland, there's not very many.
Right.
There's a couple that do resin, and then there's a couple that do pressed frames. We're actually the only one that does both of them at the minute.
So
but
it's not just the local area then you cover a bigger area?
We do. We cover pretty much all of Scotland and North England as well.
Wow.
We've covered we took a trip up to Loch Ness to collect a bouquet on a wedding day before. So we enjoy road trips, so that goes quite well.
Yeah, give us a bouquet, bye.
We like to make sure we pick them up as soon as we can, because once they're in transportation, they get damaged. No, now the thought of people throwing their bouquet gives me the fear.
Leave it alone, don't throw it.
But yeah, we do.
So you would be actually catching it, so it would
I would be diving in and trying to catch it.
So yeah, and also you've a wee bit of a background in musical theatre, is that right as well?
A wee bit of a background, aye. Yeah, we are. Me and my husband are members of the Mummers Theatre Club.
Okay.
Really
so you've, I think, just acquired some new premises for your business?
We did just this afternoon. So at the minute, everything's operating from our spare room at home. We've outgrown that, it's taken over the house. So we have got ourselves a unit in Dumbarton now. Signed and got the keys this afternoon, so it's really exciting.
So is there anywhere people can see examples of your work?
Most of the examples you're better going internet. So we have Facebook, we have our website, and we have Instagram.
So what's your website?
The website is www.abonnyreminder.com.
Okay.
And
Facebook would just be Bonnie Reminder?
Facebook's a Bonnie Reminder, as is Instagram.
Okay, so if people want to get something, a memento of a wedding or any other event, potentially, they could contact you through Facebook or your website?
Absolutely, yep. All the contact details are on there.
Smashing.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for coming in.
Thanks for having me, it's been good.
Emma,
Thank you.
That's it for this episode of Real People. Until next time.